Feel that weight of endless thought. This episode offers gentle freedom from the mental chains you carry. Discover how your thoughts are not reality, but patterns we can gently untangle together. You'll gain clarity to move through life with more ease and presence. Share in comments. What time is it where you are? Where are you right now? What concept is holding you back today? Let's begin to untangle these chains together. Imagine sitting by a quiet river, watching the water flow without resistance. Now, picture that same river suddenly blocked by a wall of stones you've built yourself. This is the subtle reality of concepts. They are not the water of experience, but the rigid walls we erect in our minds, creating false boundaries where none exist. We divide the world into us and them, good and bad, should and must, and in doing so, we bind ourselves. These mental chains don't just describe reality, they shape our very perception of it, making life feel like a series of obstacles we must navigate, rather than the fluid flow it truly is. Notice how the words should and must silently tighten the chains around you. When you tell yourself, I should be more productive, I must avoid that person, or this situation must be different, you are not stating fact. You are creating a cage. That internal command creates tension, a subtle but constant friction. It narrows your vision, making you miss the gentle current of the river flowing right beside the stone wall you've built. You become rigid, unable to see the possibility of a different path, or even the simple beauty of the water moving freely. The concept of should demands a version of reality that isn't here, and in that demand, you suffer the loss of the present moment. This is the essence of the problem. Concepts are not tools to be used, but chains to be recognized. They become our reality when we forget they are merely mental labels we place on the ever-changing stream of life. A concept like I am a failure isn't a truth about your being. It's a label that can feel heavy and binding. It limits your experience, making you see only what fits the label and ignoring the vast, complex reality of who you are right now. It's like looking at a single, dark cloud and believing the entire sky is stormy. So, let's practice gently noticing this today. Choose one concept that feels particularly tight or limiting right now. It might be a belief about yourself, a feeling about a situation, or even an expectation about how others should behave. As you go about your day, simply observe it. When you notice the concept arising, perhaps in a moment of frustration or anxiety, pause. Feel the subtle tightness it creates in your body. Breathe into that space. Ask yourself softly, is this concept serving me, or is it binding me? Notice the feeling of freedom that comes with simply observing the concept, without immediately believing it or fighting it. Don't try to break it, just see it clearly, like seeing a stone in the river without needing to move it. This small act of observation is the first step to loosening the chain. It is not about discarding all concepts, but about recognizing them as temporary mental constructions, not the unchanging truth of the world. It is the gentle unraveling of the first thread in the chain. You begin to see that the river flows regardless of the stones we imagine are holding it back. This chain of thought begins with our very first mental label. Imagine sitting quietly beneath a vast open sky on a gentle morning. Notice the clouds drifting by, their shapes shifting, dissolving, forming again. They are not solid things fixed in place. They are merely passing patterns in the sky itself. Now, bring that same awareness to your thoughts. See them as empty clouds passing through the sky of your mind. They appear, they change, they vanish. Yet the sky remains unchanged, clear and open. This is the heart of emptiness. All concepts lack inherent existence. A concept like this is good or that is bad, I am successful or I'm failing, is not a fixed reality. It is a temporary arrangement of words and images, a useful tool for navigation, but not the terrain itself. When we mistake this arrangement for truth, we build walls around ourselves, believing these mental patterns are solid and permanent. We cling to them, thinking they define us and the world. And in that clinging, suffering arises. The cloud appears real to the mind that forgets it is only a passing shape in the boundless sky. When you feel yourself judging something as true or false, as mine or not mine, pause gently. Ask softly, is this real? Or is this imagined? See if you can feel the difference. Is there a solid thing there? Or is it merely a thought shape? Like a cloud, moving through the space of your awareness. Notice how the judgment arises, how it feels heavy when you hold it, and how it dissolves when you simply observe it without grasping. This is not about denying reality or becoming passive. It is about seeing clearly, seeing that the concept itself is empty, a reflection in the water, not the water itself. The word success means nothing in itself. It gains meaning only through our attachment to the idea. The word failure is just a label, not a fact written on the soul. When you see this, the rigid chains of thought begin to loosen. You are no longer trapped by the idea of, I must be this, or this must be that. The sky of your mind, clear and open, is always there, beneath the passing clouds of thought. This practice is simple but profound. It happens in the smallest moments. While waiting in line, notice the thought, this is boring, and ask, is this boredom real? Or is it just a thought passing through? While reading a news headline, feel the judgment, this is terrible, and gently question, is this real, or is it a concept I'm holding? Feel the soft release as you let the concept float away. The practice is not to stop thinking, but to see thinking for what it is, a natural flow of clouds in the sky of awareness. This seeing is the key. Understanding emptiness reveals why we cling to these chains. It shows us that the chains are not made of iron, but of mist, of thoughts we mistake for reality. When we see their emptiness, the illusion of solidity fades. The chains fall away, not with force, but with the gentle unfolding of clear seeing. This is the beginning of true freedom. The sky remains clear and vast, always, and the clouds, however dense they seem, are never the sky itself. Imagine a clear sky above a quiet mountain lake. The sky holds no fixed shape, no permanent form, yet it is perfectly clear. Now picture a cloud drifting across that sky. It forms, it moves, it dissolves back into the vast openness. It has no substance of its own, no solid core. It simply is, as the sky allows. This is how thoughts arise in the mind. They come as passing clouds against the clear sky of awareness. They appear, they shift, they vanish, leaving the sky untouched, unmarked. They are not solid things to hold on to, not facts to be proven or defended. They are merely weather patterns in the mind's vast, open space. We often mistake these clouds for reality itself. We chase the pleasant ones, clinging tightly to the thought of success or love, as if holding onto the cloud would make it last. We flee from the storm clouds of fear or anger, trying desperately to push them away, to control the weather. But this chasing and fleeing is the very binding we spoke of earlier. It is the mental rigidity that creates suffering. When we chase a thought, we bind ourselves to its shape, its story, its imagined future. When we push away a difficult thought, we create a barrier within the clear sky, making the space feel smaller, more cramped. We forget that the cloud was never real, that it was simply a temporary appearance in the boundless clarity. The practice is simple, yet profound. It is to gently notice the cloud, to see it as it is, without judgment or the urge to grasp or reject. When a thought arises, say, "Ah, there is a thought," and then return to the clear sky of awareness. See the thought as a passing shape, like a cloud moving across the open sky. Feel the space around it, the quiet stillness that holds it without being disturbed by it. Do not follow the story the thought might tell. Do not give it the weight of your entire being. Simply observe its appearance and disappearance, like watching a cloud drift across a clear sky. This is not about stopping thoughts, but about seeing them for what they truly are, empty, temporary, and without inherent substance. It is a gentle, peaceful clarity. Try it now. As you sit quietly, Notice a thought arise. See it as a cloud. Feel the space around it. Notice how it moves and fades, leaving the space unchanged. There is no need to do anything with it. Just be the clear sky that holds it all. This is not a special state to achieve. It is simply seeing what is already here, always present beneath the surface of thought. When we practice watching thoughts like clouds, we realize we are not the clouds. We are the sky itself. The sky does not chase the clouds, nor does it cling to them. It simply is, perfectly clear, perfectly whole. This quiet observation, this gentle awareness of thoughts as passing clouds, leads us beyond the simple labels we use to define ourselves and the world. It opens the door to a deeper seeing, a seeing that is free from the chains of concepts, where reality is experienced directly, without the filter of mental construction. This is the path beyond suffering, into the vast, clear openness of true presence. Imagine the quiet space between thoughts, where awareness settles like still water after a rain. In this calm, we see how concepts, those mental labels we carry like invisible chains, bind us to suffering. We name things good or bad, mine or not mine, right or wrong. And suddenly the world fractures into separation. That person across the room becomes a stranger or a threat. Not a human breathing the same air, feeling the same hopes and fears. This labeling isn't neutral. It builds walls around others and around ourselves, creating distance where there is none. It fuels judgment, fear, and the endless struggle to make the world fit our rigid boxes. The Buddha saw this clearly. Clinging to concepts is clinging to suffering itself. Consider the Zen master who saw a man who had stolen his bowl. Instead of labeling him a thief or a sinner, the master simply saw the man, his tired eyes, the slight tremor in his hands, the shared humanity in his presence. The master did not see a category. He saw a person. This is the shift we practice. It is not about ignoring reality, but about seeing it directly, without the filter of our mental categories. When we see a person as kind or difficult, we miss the living, breathing human before us. We see a story we've made up, not the actual person. The separation created by good or bad dissolves only when we let go of the labels and see the reality in front of us, right now. Let us practice this gently. Sit quietly for a moment. Choose someone nearby, perhaps a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. Now, simply notice them. Do not think of their job, their appearance, their past, or any story you know. Do not label them friendly or quiet. Instead, let your awareness settle on the simple presence of their being. Notice the warmth in their eyes, the rhythm of their breath, the quiet space around their shoulders, the way light falls on their skin. Feel their presence without naming it. For 30 seconds, let words fall away. If thoughts arise like she's smiling or he seems sad, gently return to the quiet noticing of simply being there. This is not about achieving silence. It is about releasing the need to define. It is the practice of seeing the water without naming the river. This simple act of describing without words, of seeing the person as they are, not as our concepts tell us they should be, is the beginning of breaking free. It dissolves the illusion of separation. We realize the other is not separate at all. We are all part of the same flowing reality, beyond good and bad, right and wrong. The labels were never real. They were just passing clouds in the sky of awareness, as temporary and insubstantial as the thoughts we observed earlier. Now, with this deeper seeing, we move beyond the mind's grasping at categories. Now we move from seeing to experiencing without judgment. Consider the subtle tension in your shoulders as you hold tightly to the notion that your day must unfold exactly as planned. This familiar grip, this quiet insistence on how things should be, creates a subtle but persistent ache within. It is not the day itself that causes discomfort, but the unseen hand of your own conceptual thinking, refusing to let go of the image of what you believe is right or necessary. Notice the slight tightening when an unexpected event disrupts your internal script. This tension is the body's gentle signal, a reminder that clinging to a fixed idea, however small, creates a barrier between you and the present moment. Buddhist teachings on non-attachment to ideas do not ask you to abandon all thought or planning. Instead, they invite you to gently loosen the grip. Imagine a small stone dropped into perfectly still water. The stone creates ripples, distorting the clear reflection. The water itself remains undisturbed. The ripples are merely the temporary effect of the stone's intrusion. Your fixed ideas are like that stone. They create ripples of resistance, of anxiety, of frustration, in the clear awareness of the present. The ripples are not the water. They are temporary, arising and passing. Letting go is not about discarding useful thoughts, but about recognizing that no single thought, no single plan defines reality or holds the key to peace. A simple Zen practice illustrates this. Picture a tea ceremony. The host moves with quiet precision, not because they are rigidly following a script, but because they are fully present with the water, the leaves, the vessel. If the kettle hisses slightly out of rhythm, they do not tense. Thinking the ceremony is ruined. They simply adjust, flowing with the moment, releasing the idea of a perfectly silent ritual. The ceremony continues, not because the host is perfect, but because they are not clinging to a fixed expectation. The water is still beneath the ripples. This is non-attachment in action. responding with ease, not resistance. Now, gently turn your attention inward. What is one small fixed idea you are holding about your day right now? Perhaps it is, I must finish this email by noon, or this meeting must go exactly as I planned, or I should feel calm right now. Notice it without judgment. See it as a passing thought, a temporary cloud. Feel the subtle tension it creates in your breath, in your posture. Then, with a soft inward release, let it go. Not with force, but with a simple, warm acknowledgement. This is a thought. It is not the only way. Release the idea of needing it to be this way. Feel the softening, the slight expansion in your chest as the tightness eases. You are not losing the ability to act. You are simply freeing yourself from the unnecessary burden of demanding that your thinking must be correct, or that the world must match your mental blueprint. This small release, this gentle loosening of one conceptual grip, is not a grand event. It is a quiet shift within. It is the space that opens when the stone is lifted from the water. The ripples settle. The stillness beneath returns. You are no longer fighting the moment. You are simply in it, observing with fresh eyes. This release creates space for mindful observation. Begin by settling into your posture, feeling the gentle support beneath you. Let your awareness rest softly on the natural rhythm of your breath. Inhale, feeling the quiet expansion in your chest. Exhale, releasing any subtle tension you might be holding. This simple anchor is your home in the present moment, a steady point to return to whenever the mind begins to wander into the past or future. Now, bring your attention to the thoughts that naturally arise. Notice them as they appear, perhaps a memory, a plan, a fleeting worry. Do not chase after them. Do not try to push them away. Simply observe them as you might watch clouds drift across a clear sky. See the thought form. See it shift. See it dissolve, all without placing a name upon it. There is no need to label it as worry or idea or me thinking. Just see the movement itself, pure and unadorned. Let the breath be the quiet thread holding your attention, drawing you back gently each time you notice the mind has strayed into naming or following the thought's trail. This is not about stopping thoughts, it is about changing your relationship to them. Thoughts come and go like leaves on a stream. Your role is not to grasp the leaves, but to watch the stream flow. Imagine a monk sitting quietly by a small stone basin, washing tea bowls. The sound of water splashing softly, the cool touch of porcelain, the scent of tea leaves. A thought arises. This bowl is chipped. He doesn't dwell on the chipped bowl, nor does he argue with the thought. He simply notices the thought's appearance, feels the slight tightness in his shoulder as it forms, and then returns his full attention to the sound of water. the feel of the bowl, the rhythm of his breath. The thought passes like a ripple on the water's surface, leaving the stillness untouched. He remains present with the washing, the water, the breath. No judgment, no story, just the immediate, clear sensation of the task and the moment. This is mindful observation in action. Thoughts are observed as natural events, not as truths to be held or denied. Now, set a gentle timer for 2 minutes. Sit comfortably, eyes softly closed or gently lowered. Bring your awareness to your breath. When thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, simply note their presence without naming them. See the thought as a shape, a color, a feeling in the mind. But do not say this is a thought about work or this is anxiety. Let it be simply a thought passing through the open space of your awareness. Return to the breath whenever you notice you followed the thought's path. Breathe in, feeling the space. Breathe out, releasing the need to hold on. If your mind wanders to counting or planning, that's fine. Just notice the wandering and return to the breath. This practice is not about achieving a blank mind. It is about discovering the quiet space behind the thoughts, the space where you simply are. It is a gentle loosening of the grip you hold on every passing idea. This quiet observation, this simple returning to the breath and the present moment without naming the thoughts, is the very ground from which deeper understanding grows. It is the practice of seeing the river of mind flow without trying to build a dam against its current. As you sit with this observation, you may notice subtle discomfort arising, perhaps a sense of restlessness, a pull to get back to the story, a feeling of emptiness where the thought was. This is not a problem. It is the natural edge of the practice. Observing thoughts without labeling them leads us directly to sitting with this discomfort, to resting in the space where concepts dissolve and only the raw, clear present remains. This is where the true release begins. Feel the quiet space between thoughts where discomfort often finds its home. It is not the discomfort itself that binds us, but the subtle resistance we build against it through our concepts. We label it as wrong or unbearable, creating a second layer of struggle on top of the simple sensation. This resistance is the grip we hold on to, the very thing we seek to loosen. Notice how the moment you name the feeling pain or fear, you tighten your hold on it. Instead, let the breath flow into that tightness, not to push it away, but to simply hold it with open awareness. Breathe into the tension without adding the word discomfort to it. Let the sensation be just a sensation, as natural as the air moving through your body. Consider the story of the old monk who dropped his clay pot. It shattered on the stone path. His student rushed to help, already saying, "Oh no," the pot broke, full of regret and worry. The monk simply looked at the pieces, then gently placed a hand on the student's shoulder. He said nothing. He did not say it's broken or I should have been careful. He simply sat with the sound of the shards, with the quiet space where the pot had been. He did not fight the reality of the broken pot. He simply was present with it. There was no unbearable feeling, only the immediate experience. The student later realized the monk was not avoiding the loss, but was simply not adding a second layer of suffering through his thoughts about it. This is the practice we begin now. Find a quiet place to sit. Bring your awareness gently to your breath, the anchor of this moment. Then, allow one thought to arise that carries a familiar edge of discomfort. It might be a worry about tomorrow, a memory of a past disagreement, or a simple unease about your posture. Do not chase it away. Do not judge it as bad or unwanted. Simply notice it as it is, a passing shape in the field of your awareness. Now, let your breath flow into the physical sensation that accompanies this thought, the tightness in your chest, the slight tension in your jaw. Breathe into that space, not to change it, but to hold it with kindness. Feel the breath soften the edges of the tension without needing to name it. Stay with this feeling, this thought, for just 1 minute. If your mind wanders, gently return to the breath and the sensation without frustration. This minute is not about fixing anything. It is simply about resting with the truth of the moment as it appears, without adding the story of resistance. In this simple minute of sitting with the raw edge of a thought, you begin to see clearly how often we question our own assumptions before we even feel the feeling fully. We think this is bad before we truly experience, this is tight. We assume this must change before we simply allow this is here. This practice reveals the subtle, constant questioning of our own concepts that happens within us every single day. It shows us how the very act of labeling a feeling as uncomfortable creates the grip we seek to release. When you sit with the feeling without the label, the grip loosens. The space opens. The thought remains, but it no longer holds you. This is not about becoming numb. It is about meeting life as it is, without the heavy burden of our interpretations. The next step will be to carry this gentle awareness into the ordinary moments of your day. Imagine the quiet space between thoughts, where assumptions often take root like stubborn weeds in the mind. We tend to believe certain things are simply true, unchanging facts. This is how it always is. But what if this very belief is the tight grip we've been holding on to? Today, we practice gently loosening that grip through simple, daily questioning. Begin not with grand philosophical debates, but with the ordinary moments of your morning. Before your first sip of tea or coffee, pause. Notice one small assumption you hold about yourself, a situation, or the world. Perhaps it's "this traffic is always unbearable," or "I must be perfect at this meeting." Then ask softly, What if this isn't true? Not to prove it false, but to open a tiny space where the familiar story might soften. This isn't about changing reality, it's about releasing the mental map that distorts it. Consider the simple scene of waiting in line for coffee. For years, you might have thought, this line is always slow, and I'll be late. The assumption creates a quiet tension, a sense of being trapped by the line itself. Now, try this when you step into the line. Notice the thought, this line is always slow, arise. Instead of letting it pull you into frustration, gently ask, what if this line isn't always slow? Then, simply observe. Feel the cool air. Hear the barista's hum. See the person ahead. Notice the line moving. You might realize today it's actually quicker than yesterday. The tightness in your chest eases not because the line changed, but because you stopped believing the old story. The line wasn't the problem. The story about the line was. This practice is the quiet work of untying the knots we've woven from habit. It's not about finding a new truth, but about releasing the old one. When you question this is how it always is, you step off the mental treadmill of resistance. You begin to meet each moment as it is, without the heavy burden of a pre-written narrative. The discomfort you might feel when the story dissolves, like the slight unease when the familiar map vanishes, isn't something to push away. It's the raw edge of being present, the space where true understanding can grow. This is why questioning before breakfast matters. It's a small, daily anchor, a gentle reminder that you are not bound by the thoughts you habitually entertain. So, as you prepare your morning drink, take that one breath. Notice an assumption you've carried for a while. Ask, what if this isn't true? Feel the subtle shift as you let go of the need for that story to be real. It might feel small, almost insignificant. But this tiny act of inquiry is the first step toward freedom. It's the practice of seeing the world without the labels we've imposed upon it. Seeing the line, the traffic, the meeting, simply as they are. Now, as we move beyond the morning practice, we begin to notice these labels more clearly in the flow of daily life. You'll see them in the way you describe others, in the judgments you form about situations, even in the way you speak to yourself. This awareness is the next step, seeing the labels themselves, not just the story they create. The quiet questioning we've begun now becomes the lens through which we meet everything, without the need to hold it tightly, without the need to call it anything at all. Consider the ordinary moment of making your morning coffee. The kettle hums, water swirls, steam rises. You lift the cup, feel its warmth, smell the rich aroma. Yet often, before the warmth touches your palms, a thought arrives. I'm so busy, or I'm so tired. These labels slip in effortlessly, shaping the entire experience before you even taste the coffee. The warmth becomes a burden, the steam a sign of wasted time. The simple act of holding the cup now carries the weight of your mental story. This is how labels weave themselves into the fabric of the everyday, creating a separate reality from what is actually present. Notice how the label busy doesn't just describe your situation. It becomes the lens through which you see the coffee, the morning, even the air in the room. It colors everything with a sense of lack, of pressure, of things not being as they should be. Similarly, the label tired isn't merely a description of your body. It becomes a story about your worth, your capacity, a narrative that makes the simple pleasure of the cup feel distant or impossible. The actual sensation of warmth, the sound of the kettle, the taste of the coffee, these are the raw, unfiltered moments. But the label steps in and says, "This is hard. This is too much. This is a problem." And in that moment, the present experience is obscured, replaced by a mental story that adds suffering where there was only simple sensation. This is not about judging yourself for having these thoughts. It is simply about seeing them clearly, like noticing a cloud passing across the sky. The next time you take a moment for your coffee, or even while waiting for it to brew, pause. Feel the weight of the mug in your hands. Notice the steam rising, the scent filling the air. Now, without naming the feeling, simply observe. Is there a thought like busy or tired already there, coloring the moment? Does it feel like a separate thing? A story you are telling yourself about the experience, rather than the experience itself. See how the label creates a barrier between you and the warmth of the cup, between you and the quiet sound of the kettle. The label is a concept, a thought pattern, not the reality of the moment. Practice this gently. During your next coffee break, or even while washing your hands, bring your attention to the immediate sensory reality, the temperature, the sound, the light, the feeling in your body. See if you can notice the moment before the label arises. See if you can simply be with the sensation of warmth without adding, "I'm tired" to it. Notice how the experience feels different when you don't immediately label it. It might feel softer, lighter, more open. The pressure eases because the story is not being added on. You are meeting the moment as it is, not as the concept you've created about it. This simple noticing is the quiet practice that dissolves the illusion of separation. It shows us that the tired or busy is not the truth of the moment, but a thought superimposed upon it. By seeing these labels arise in the ordinary, we begin to recognize how deeply we rely on concepts to navigate life, and how those concepts, while useful in some ways, also create a veil over reality. We see that the very act of labeling busy or tired is a form of dualistic thinking, separating the self from the experience, creating a me that is busy or tired, rather than seeing the whole experience as it unfolds. This awareness is the quiet door to seeing through dualistic thinking. Imagine the quiet space we cultivated in the last chapter, where habitual labels began to soften. Now, gently turn your attention to the very ground beneath those labels, the subtle, persistent habit of seeing the world as divided. We often feel the world as a series of opposing forces, me versus you, good versus bad, right versus wrong. This split, this dualistic thinking, is not just a thought, it is the root of much suffering. It creates a constant inner battle where every moment feels like a conflict to be won or lost. Notice how the concept of good only gains meaning because we define it against its opposite, bad. Without the shadow of bad, good would simply be a word with no weight. The very idea of a problem depends on the existence of a solution we haven't yet found. This is the illusion we live within. Consider a simple moment in a garden. A gardener might see a plant as beautiful and a weed as undesirable. But look deeper. The weed might be a wildflower in another context, or perhaps it feeds insects that help the roses. The gardener who sees only beauty versus weed feels tension, perhaps even frustration. They are fighting the garden, not understanding it. Now imagine the gardener simply noticing the green shoots, the sunlight on the leaves, the soil beneath their hands, without labeling any part as good or bad. There is no struggle, only observation. The garden is just as it is, and the gardener is part of its quiet unfolding. This is seeing through the illusion of separation. The conflict dissolved not by ignoring the plant, but by releasing the need to judge it. Now, bring this awareness into your own life. Next time a minor disagreement arises, perhaps a colleague takes a different view, or a friend shares something you find difficult. Pause. Take one breath. Instead of immediately thinking they are wrong or I'm right, simply observe the situation. Notice the words spoken, the tone of voice, the feeling in your chest. See the people involved not as me against you, but as two people caught in the same moment, each with their own perspective. Hold the conflict gently, without taking sides, for just 60 seconds. Do not try to fix it, or even understand it fully. Just be present with the feeling of the division itself, without adding your story to it. In that space, you might feel the ground beneath you become steady, the tension soften. You might notice the space between the words, the silence where the conflict was. This simple practice, repeated often, begins to loosen the grip of dualistic thinking. It reveals that the other is not a threat, but a reflection of the same shared reality we all inhabit. This is not about becoming passive or ignoring reality. It is about seeing reality clearly, without the distortions of our own mental divisions. When we stop labeling everything as for me or against me, a deeper stillness arises. The constant chatter of me versus the world quiets. What remains is not emptiness, but a profound clarity, a natural understanding that was always there, beneath the surface of thought, beyond the need to define, to separate, to win. We discover silence as true understanding. It is the silence where all dualities dissolve, and reality is simply known as it is, without the need for a story. This silence is not empty, it is full of the quiet presence of all that is. Notice how the space between your thoughts feels quiet yet alive. It is not empty, but full of presence. This quiet space is where understanding naturally arises, beyond the need for words. We often believe that thinking and speaking are necessary to grasp reality. Yet words are merely labels we place on the ever-changing flow of life. They create separation, building walls between ourselves and what is. When we speak, we are already stepping into a conceptual world, leaving the direct experience behind. The illusion deepens when we mistake these labels for reality itself. True seeing happens not in the words we use, but in the gentle space that exists before the next thought forms, between the sound of a word and the silence that follows. Consider the story of the monk who asked his teacher, "What is the nature of Buddha?" The teacher remained silent. The monk waited, confused, expecting an answer. Later, the monk returned, still seeking a verbal explanation. The teacher again offered no words, simply sitting in stillness. The monk finally understood. The silence wasn't absence, it was the fullness of understanding itself. Words could not capture the essence of Buddha nature, nor could they convey the teacher's realization. The silence was the direct experience, the natural state of clear seeing that words could only obscure. This is the heart of Zen teaching. Reality is not found in concepts, but in the unmediated awareness that exists when conceptual thinking rests. This is why we practice sitting in silence after speaking. It is not about stopping thought, but about gently noticing the natural pause that already exists between our words and our next action. After you speak today, find a quiet moment. Sit comfortably, close your eyes if it feels right, and simply be. Let the sound of your voice fade into the quiet space around you. Do not chase thoughts away, simply notice the silence that holds them. This is not emptiness, it is the fertile ground where insight grows. In those 2 minutes, you're not trying to achieve anything. You are simply allowing the mind to settle into its own natural stillness, the same stillness the teacher embodied. You may feel restless at first, as the mind habitually seeks the next word, the next idea. That is the old pattern calling. Gently return to the quiet space between thoughts, the space where reality is already present. undisturbed by labels or judgments. This practice dissolves the illusion that meaning must be found in words, revealing instead that understanding is a silent, clear seeing that arises when the mind is no longer busy creating separation. The silence you find in these moments is not something you create. It is the natural state of the mind, always there beneath the surface of thinking. When we stop speaking, stop labeling, stop arguing with the present moment, we awaken to what is already here. This silence is the true understanding we seek, the direct knowing that requires no explanation. It is the foundation for seeing through illusion, for recognizing the seamless unity of all things beyond the dualistic mind. This silence awakens us to the present moment. As the quiet stillness from the previous moment settles within you, notice how the mind naturally rests in the space between thoughts. This is not emptiness, but a clear space where reality appears without the veil of labels. Now, gently turn your attention to the simple weight of your body resting on the chair, the floor, or the cushion beneath you. Feel the subtle pressure, the grounding presence, the quiet support. This is not a concept. It is the direct experience of being here, now. Concepts, those familiar mental maps we rely on, exist only in the past or the future. The memory of a conversation, the worry about tomorrow, the plan for next week, they all live in time, not in the present moment. They are stories we tell ourselves, often creating unnecessary tension or separation. When we grasp these concepts as absolute truth, we miss the living reality unfolding right now. The present moment holds no labels, it simply is. It is the space where the sound of a distant bird, the cool air on your skin, the rhythm of your breath, exist without needing a name. Consider the simple act of washing your hands. As you turn on the tap, feel the water's temperature against your skin. Notice the coolness, the gentle flow, the slight pressure as it moves over your fingers. Hear the soft sound of water hitting the basin. See the way the droplets cling to your skin before sliding away. There is no need to think about what this means, or where the water comes from, or whether it's the right temperature. It simply is. In this focused attention on one sensory detail, the coolness, the sound, the movement, you are not thinking about the past or planning the future. You are fully present, without the burden of concepts. This is the awakening to the present moment. So, take this moment right now. Pause your thoughts. Feel the weight of your body where it meets the surface beneath you. Notice one sensory detail, the texture of your clothing against your skin, the faint hum of the room, the way light falls on the wall. Let your awareness rest softly on that one detail. Do not analyze it. Do not name it. Simply feel it as it is, without adding the story of what it represents. This quiet noticing is not a technique. It is the natural state of mind when concepts fall away. The mind that has been caught in the river of past and future thoughts finally settles, like water in a still pond reflecting the sky. This gentle practice reveals what has always been true. The present moment is not something we reach for. It is where we already are. When we stop chasing the past or future, the illusion of separation dissolves. The constant mental commentary that creates conflict and confusion ceases. What remains is a simple, clear awareness of what is here, now. This quiet awareness naturally releases the need to hold on to fixed ideas, to cling to the stories we tell ourselves. It is the doorway, already open, to seeing reality as it is, without the filter of conceptual thinking. This is the awakening that leads directly to letting go of fixed ideas. Have you ever felt the tightness of holding a belief about yourself, like a small stone clenched in your palm? This subtle grip, the quiet insistence that you must be this way, or act that way, or even feel a certain way, is the very fabric of conceptual thinking. It creates a cage of expectation around your true nature. A cage you build yourself with every thought of I should or I must. Notice how this fixed idea, even when well-meaning, pulls you away from the present moment. It creates stress, not because the idea itself is heavy, but because you are holding it against the natural flow of life. You become a prisoner of your own mental blueprint, constantly measuring your reality against a standard that does not exist outside your thinking mind. Consider the story of a monk who spent years meditating by a river, convinced he was separate from the water, observing it as if it were another object. He saw the river as out there, distinct from himself. One day, caught in a sudden downpour, he stood exposed, feeling the rain on his skin, the mud beneath his feet, the river swelling and merging with the earth around him. In that moment of direct experience, without the barrier of thought, he realized he was not separate from the river. He was the river, flowing with the same water, the same movement, the same presence. His fixed idea of separation dissolved not through effort, but through simply being present with the rain, the mud, the river's current. He didn't stop thinking. He stopped clinging to the thought that defined him. This is the practice we offer now. Sit quietly for a moment. Bring to mind one fixed idea about yourself that you hold tightly. Perhaps I must be strong, or I must be productive, or I must not show weakness. Feel it for a moment. Where does it live in your body? Is it a knot in your chest? A tightness in your jaw? Now, without judgment, gently release it. Imagine it as a leaf floating down a stream, carried away by the current of your breath. You don't need to force it away. Simply notice the idea, then allow it to soften, like mist dissolving in the morning sun. It is not that you are abandoning the idea, but that you are stepping out of the small box it has created around your awareness. You are not the idea. You are the spacious awareness in which the idea arises and passes. This gentle release is not about becoming someone new. It is about returning to the simple, unburdened awareness that existed before the idea formed. When you release one fixed idea about yourself, you feel the quiet space open, the space where stress naturally falls away. You remember that you are not defined by your thoughts, but by the vast, still presence that holds them. This is the natural state, the quiet awareness we discovered in the space between thoughts. It is not something you achieve, it is simply what remains when you stop holding on. When we release these mental constructs, we begin to see clearly, without the filter of should or must. We see the world and ourselves as they truly are, not as we have labeled them. This gentle seeing is the foundation for true understanding. It allows us to meet each moment with fresh eyes, without the weight of expectation. And so, as we move forward, remember this simple truth: the moment you release one fixed idea, you step into the fluid awareness of the present, where all things are seen without judgment. Imagine the mind as a cage built of thoughts and fixed ideas. We move within its walls believing them to be solid, real, and ours. This cage of concepts, this should and must, creates a quiet tension, a subtle holding that keeps us separate from the living moment. But what if we gently notice these walls are not stone? What if they are temporary structures, like sandcastles on a beach, waiting for the tide? This is the heart of releasing mental constructs. Thoughts are not solid truths to be defended or clung to. They arise and pass, like ripples on a pond, not permanent fixtures in the landscape of our being. We hold them as absolute truth only when we forget their fleeting nature. Letting go begins with seeing them clearly as passing phenomena, not as the foundation of who we are. It is not about stopping thoughts, but releasing the grip we place upon them. The deep-seated "this is mine, this is true" that fuels our struggle. Consider a monk sitting quietly by a mountain stream. He watches the water flow, clear and unobstructed. A thought arises, perhaps a worry about tomorrow. He does not chase it, nor does he push it away. He simply observes it, like a bubble forming on the surface of the water. He sees it rise, shimmer with light for a moment, and then gently pop, leaving only the smooth flow of the stream behind. The thought was there, but it was never the water. It was merely a temporary shape on the water's surface, not the water itself. The monk does not need to judge the bubble as good or bad. He simply sees its nature. This is the practice. He does not become the bubble, nor does he fight the stream. He rests in the awareness that holds the bubble and the water, seeing both as part of the same flowing reality. Now, Gently invite this awareness into your own experience. Notice your thoughts as they come and go. See them not as commands or absolute truths, but as temporary structures like bubbles floating through the air. When a thought arises, perhaps this is wrong or I must be perfect, pause softly. Observe it with curiosity, as if seeing a bubble in the sunlight. Feel the thought arise, feel its shape, and then watch it dissolve. Not by forcing it away, but simply by not clinging to it. Let it pop, leaving no trace behind. There is no need to hold on to my truth or my story. The thought was a passing cloud. The sky remains clear. This practice is not about emptying the mind, but about releasing the weight we carry with our thoughts. It is a gentle invitation to step out of the cage of fixed ideas and into the spaciousness of now. As you practice seeing thoughts as bubbles popping, a quiet shift occurs. You begin to understand that the mind's patterns are not who you are. They are simply patterns, like ripples, not the river. This seeing without judgment transforms how we flow. It is not about becoming something new, but about remembering what has always been there, the natural, unobstructed awareness that holds all thoughts without being defined by them. The cage dissolves not with force, but with the soft realization that the walls were never real. And in this soft release, we discover the ease of flowing with life, just as the stream flows without resistance. This seeing without judgment transforms how we flow. In the gentle space where the river of awareness flows beneath the ripples of thought, we find a deeper stillness. The mental cage we released in the previous chapter, the cage built of should and must, is not merely gone, it dissolves entirely when we simply see. Judgment. That subtle voice whispering, this is good, that is bad. This is right, that is wrong, creates the very barriers we seek to dissolve. It is the act of naming, of labeling, of imposing our fixed ideas onto the world that separates us from direct experience. True seeing requires no labels, no comparisons, no expectations. It requires only the quiet attention of the present moment. Consider the simple practice of watching a bird, not as a sparrow, or a robin, or even a bird, but simply as a movement of life. Notice the flash of brown against the green branch, the way its small body tilts with the breeze, the soft sound it makes as it takes flight. Do not name it. Do not think it should be singing or it must fly higher. Let the thought of sparrow simply not arise. Feel how the mind, without the weight of a label, softens. The bird becomes a living presence, not a concept. Its movement is not judged as beautiful or ordinary, it simply is. This is not about ignoring the bird's form, but about seeing it without the overlay of our mental constructs. The judgment that says this is a sparrow is the barrier. The unlabeled seeing is the river flowing freely. This practice reveals the true nature of perception. thoughts about what the bird should be or how it must behave are merely passing clouds in the sky of awareness. They are not the sky itself. When we stop naming and judging, we stop creating the walls between ourselves and the world. We step out of the cage of our own ideas. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of wind in leaves, the quiet breath within you, these are not concepts. They are direct experience, available only when we release the need to define and control. The should and must vanish, not because we suppress them, but because we see they were never real to begin with. They were just thoughts, like clouds moving through the vast, clear sky of awareness. So, when you next sit quietly, notice the urge to name the passing thoughts, the passing sounds, the passing moments. See the bird without naming it. See the person without labeling their actions. See the feeling without calling it good or bad. Feel the quiet space that opens when the mind stops grasping for meaning. This is the fluid awareness the chapter invites us to embody. It is not a special state, but the natural state of mind when the mental constructs of judgment are released. The river flows without resistance, without the need to fix its course. And when the river flows without resistance, life's changes become natural. They are not obstacles to overcome, but the very movement of the river itself. Life moves like a river, always shifting, never standing still. We often build small islands of thought within this flow, hoping to anchor ourselves to a stable shore. We cling to plans, to expectations, to the way things should be, as if this resistance could stop the current. But concepts, by their very nature, resist change. They are rigid structures we erect in our minds, yet life flows around them, through them, and eventually they dissolve. Presence, however, embraces the change. It doesn't fight the river, it simply moves with it, feeling the water's current beneath the surface. Notice how you cling to stability, how a minor shift in schedule, a changed weather forecast, or an unexpected conversation sends a ripple of unease through you. That's the moment your mental map tightens, grasping at the familiar shape of the world you've constructed. See it without judgment, just as it is. See the subtle tension in your shoulders, the quick thought, "This isn't right," or "I need to fix this." This noticing is the first step beyond the cage. It's not about forcing calm, but about gently releasing the grip. Now, practice this in your own life. Choose one small plan for the day that you can let go of. Maybe it's the exact time you'll finish a task, the specific route you'll take to work, or the precise words you'll say in a meeting. Feel the familiar pull to hold on to it, then consciously choose to release it. Allow the day to unfold without that specific anchor. You might find yourself sitting in a coffee shop waiting for a friend, and instead of worrying about the time, You notice the steam rising from your cup, the sound of the rain outside, the quiet hum of the morning. The plan wasn't wrong, it was simply a concept. The reality is the present moment, the rain, the steam, the quiet hum. This small release is not about losing direction. It's about discovering a deeper, more fluid awareness. It's the shift from seeing the river as a barrier to be overcome, to sensing the river itself as the very ground beneath your feet. When you release the single plan, you don't lose your way, you find yourself moving within the natural current. You stop fighting the water and begin to swim with it. The resistance fades, and what remains is a quiet, spacious awareness, open to whatever arises. This isn't passive surrender, it's active, intelligent engagement with the ever-changing present. You see the world not through the lens of your fixed ideas, but directly as it is, moment by moment. The mental constructs that once felt like solid ground soften and become transparent, like mist at dawn. Life's changes no longer feel like threats, they feel like the natural rhythm of existence, flowing through you rather than against you. This gentle release, this simple act of letting go of one small plan, is where the unlearning begins. It leads directly to the next step, unlearning the conditioned responses that tell us we must constantly control the river, rather than learning to flow within it. This flow is the path beyond the cage, into the vast, clear space of direct experience. Notice how quickly your mind jumps to judgment when someone speaks sharply or a situation feels uncertain. A word cuts you. Your jaw tightens. A thought follows, "They don't respect me," or "This is unfair." This automatic reaction, this snap judgment, is the first link in a chain you've built over years. You don't stop to see the situation clearly. You instantly label it, react, and the chain tightens. You see the word, feel the sting, and already the story begins, pulling you into the past or future, away from what is truly happening now. This is the habit of conceptual thinking at work, creating mental chains that bind you to old patterns, making you miss the simple reality of the present moment. Habits create these chains not through grand events, but through countless small moments of reactivity. Each time you react before seeing, you strengthen the link. You become conditioned to see only what your past tells you to see, not what is actually there. This is why unlearning is not about adding new knowledge, but about gently loosening the grip of these automatic responses. It begins with a single pause, a moment of stillness before the reaction takes hold. This pause is not empty. It is the space where direct experience can finally be felt. Consider the story of a monk walking beside a rushing river. One day, a villager shouted angrily at him, accusing him of causing a problem. The monk felt the heat of the anger rise in his chest. His first thought was to defend himself, to explain. to push back. But then he remembered his teacher's words, "See the water, not the stone that stirs it." He took a deep breath. He felt the anger, acknowledged it without judgment, and simply paused. In that space, he noticed the river's flow was constant, neither angry nor calm, just moving. He saw the villager's words as a ripple on the water, not a stone to hold. The need to react dissolved. He simply nodded and continued on his path. The river's movement his only guide. This is the practice of unlearning. It is not about becoming passive, but about breaking the chain of automatic thought. Choose one trigger you notice in your day, perhaps a critical comment, a delay, or a sudden noise. The next time it arises, feel the impulse to react, and then pause. Breathe. Notice the physical sensation in your body. Feel the space before the thought, "This is bad," or "I must fix it," takes shape. In that pause, you are not the reaction. You are the awareness watching it. You see the chain for what it is, a series of old steps you've taken without seeing. You step out of the chain, even for a moment. This small pause is the beginning of trust, not in your thoughts, but in the direct experience of this moment, right here, right now. As you practice this unlearning, you begin to feel the weight of those mental chains loosen. You realize you have never truly needed to control the river's flow. You only needed to feel its movement. The more you pause, the more clearly you see the present moment, unclouded by the past. Unlearning these conditioned responses isn't about becoming empty. It is about making room for life to be as it is. This gentle breaking of chains is the quiet foundation where trust in direct experience can finally grow. You begin to trust the river, not the story you tell about it. Notice how the gentle pause you cultivated in the last moment, the space between thought and action, has already begun to soften the edges of your usual mental chatter. This is the quiet foundation where true trust takes root. We often live as if experience must be translated through 1,000 concepts. This is good. That is wrong. I should feel this way. But concepts are always about the past or the future, never the living moment. Your thoughts are stories about the present, not the present itself. The ground beneath your feet is real right now, not the memory of standing on it yesterday or the plan to stand on it tomorrow. Consider the ancient tea ceremony. A master prepares tea not by thinking about the perfect temperature or the right amount of leaves, but by simply being with the water as it rises, the leaves as they unfurl, the cup as it meets their hands. There is no labeling, no judgment, just the direct meeting of senses with the world. The water is warm, the cup smooth, the scent of green leaves rising. The mind is not busy making a map of this moment. It is the map. When you stop trying to name the feeling of the earth under your feet, You don't lose connection. You finally find it. The sensation is already here, clear and immediate, before thought steps in to obscure it. So take this moment. Sit quietly. Feel the contact of your body with the chair or floor. Notice the air moving across your skin. Hear the sounds without naming them: bird, wind, distant car. Just feel the vibration, the sensation. Do not label the warmth, the pressure, the sound. Let the mind rest in the bare experience itself. For 1 minute, release the need to say what it is. Let the sensation be simply what it is, without a story. This is not about emptying the mind. It is about stepping aside from the constant commentary that keeps you separate from life. You might find your thoughts returning, and that is perfectly fine. Gently return to the feeling of your feet on the floor, the weight of your body, the breath moving without effort. In this simple act of trusting what is already happening, without adding your story, you are not seeking something new. You are uncovering what has always been present, beneath the layers of thought. The wisdom isn't in the concept of stillness. It is in the stillness itself. When you stop trying to hold on to the idea of it, you don't have to earn this trust. You simply need to stop building walls around the direct experience that is already here. The ground holds you. The air moves through you. The moment is complete in itself. This trust reveals wisdom in stillness. Imagine the quiet space between thoughts, the gentle pause after the last breath has settled. You've learnt to pause before reaction, to soften the grip of automatic judgment. Now, let's deepen this pause. Not to stop thinking, but to let it settle like dust in still air. This is where wisdom resides, not in the constant flow of words and labels, but in the space they obscure. Concepts are useful tools, yet they can become walls, blocking our view of what is directly here, right now. When we cling to the idea of this is good or that is bad, we miss the pure experience of the moment. Stillness holds insight. Concepts block it. The mind's silence isn't emptiness, but a clear mirror reflecting reality as it is. Consider the Zen story of the monk crossing the river. He saw the rushing water and immediately thought, "This current is dangerous. I must find a safer place." His mind was busy constructing a story, a problem to solve, while the river itself simply flowed. A wise elder, watching, simply pointed to the water and said, "See the water." The monk looked and saw only water. No danger, no need for a plan. The river was exactly as it was, without his story. His conceptual thinking had clouded his direct perception. The wisdom was always there in the stillness of seeing, not in the mental narrative. We do this constantly. A sensation arises, a warmth, a sound, and we instantly name it, judge it, attach meaning. The simple feeling of warmth becomes comfortable or uncomfortable, and the direct experience fades. Stillness allows us to hear the river without the story. This is the practice. Sit quietly for 3 minutes each day, not to empty your mind, but to gently rest your attention on your breath, or the sounds around you, or simply the space between thoughts. When thoughts arise, I should be doing this. This is boring. Notice them like clouds passing in a clear sky. Don't chase them. Don't fight them. Just return, softly, to the quiet space of your awareness. This isn't about achieving stillness. It's about trusting that stillness is already present beneath the surface noise. It's a gentle invitation to rest in the direct experience of being here, now, without the need to label or fix it. The insight isn't something you find out there. It's the clarity that emerges when you stop building walls around your direct experience. You might feel restless at first. That's okay. Restlessness is part of the path. Simply notice the restlessness without adding another layer of judgment. Restless, yes. You might whisper internally, and then gently return to your breath. This 3-minute practice is not a chore. It's a way of honoring the wisdom that already lives within you. It's a way of saying, I trust this moment, exactly as it is, without needing to understand it. The wisdom we seek is not hidden in distant teachings, but revealed in the quiet space we create by letting go of the need to know. This simple act of sitting in stillness, without the burden of thought, begins to dissolve the conditioned patterns that keep us disconnected from direct experience. It shows us that we don't need to solve everything. We only need to be present for what is. As you sit, notice how the constant chatter of the mind gradually softens, not because you forced it to stop, but because you stopped fighting it. In that softening, a deeper knowing arises, one that doesn't require words, only the quiet recognition of being whole right now. This stillness is not passive. It is the active, clear seeing that breaks the chains of conceptual thinking. It is the foundation for trusting the direct experience that unfolds in every moment, preparing you to move beyond thought patterns entirely. Notice how thoughts often return like old friends you cannot quite shake. They arrive with familiar comfort, whispering the same stories about the past or future. This is not a sign of truth, but a pattern woven from habit, a mental groove worn smooth by repetition. To break free, we do not fight these thoughts, nor do we cling to them. We simply see them for what they are, temporary ripples on the surface of a deeper stillness. This seeing is gentle, not harsh. It is the quiet recognition that the thought is not the truth of your being, but merely a passing cloud in the vast sky of your awareness. Imagine sitting by a still pond. A stone is dropped, creating ripples that spread outward. The ripples are not the pond itself. They are the pond's response to the stone. Similarly, thoughts arise in the mind, but they are not the mind. They are the mind's response to conditioning, to old beliefs, to the endless chatter of the past. When you notice a thought repeating, a worry about work, a judgment of yourself, a memory you keep revisiting, do not pull it closer. Do not chase it or condemn it. Simply notice the pattern emerging, like seeing the same ripple pattern form again. See it as a habitual movement, a mental habit that has become automatic, not as a command or a reality. This is the first step in releasing it. Now, practice this gently. Choose one recurring thought that surfaces often as it arises. Pause softly. Do not engage with its content. Instead, softly acknowledge its presence. There is the thought about that again. Then, without force, let it go. Imagine placing it on a leaf and watching it float away on the water. Do not struggle to stop it. Simply notice its arrival and allow its departure. This is not about emptying the mind, but about disengaging from the grip of the thought. It is a soft release, like loosening a hand that has been clenched too long. Each time you gently disengage, you strengthen your connection to the stillness beneath the thoughts. You return to the pond itself, not the ripples. This practice is not about achieving a thought-free mind. It is about remembering that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that notices the thoughts. When you rest in this awareness, the patterns lose their power. They become less like chains and more like weather passing through an open window. The mind, unburdened by the weight of constant repetition, begins to settle. You begin to trust the direct experience of this very moment, the sound of breath, the feel of your body, the quiet presence of being more than the stories your mind constructs. This trust is not intellectual. It is felt in the deep calm of simply being here, now, without needing to label or fix anything. This gentle disengagement from thought patterns is the quiet foundation upon which deeper work grows. It is the space where wisdom, unclouded by conceptual thinking, can finally be seen. You are not building something new. You're releasing what was never truly yours to begin with. This is the essential work that leads us beyond thought itself, preparing the way for the profound stillness of Chapter 6. Observe the river flowing without naming it a river. See the water simply as water, moving, changing, responding to the land. No concept, no label, just the continuous flow. Now bring that same quiet attention to your relationships and your sense of self. Notice how often you bind yourself with phrases like "I am a good friend," "I am difficult," "I am unlovable." These labels are not facts, but chains you forge from thought. They create a rigid structure around the fluid reality of being. When you say, "I am this," you build a wall between yourself and the ever-changing present moment. This separation is the root of suffering. You suffer not because of the situation, but because you are clinging to the concept of who you believe yourself to be within it. The pain arises from the tension between the concept and the truth of what is happening right now. Consider a conversation with a friend. You might label them as kind or critical based on a single remark. Then you carry that label into the next interaction, coloring your perception. You see their neutral words through the lens of your concept, creating a story of conflict or connection that may not exist. This is the chain at work. It pulls you away from the actual experience, their tone, their pause, the space between words, and into the mental construct you've created. The concept becomes a cage, limiting your ability to truly see and be present with the other person as they are in this moment. Try this practice now. In your next interaction, simply observe without adding a label. See the person as a human being in this moment, not as a category. Notice their expression, their posture, the sound of their voice. Without thinking, "I must be seen as understanding," or "they must be seen as difficult." Let the concept dissolve like a shadow at noon. Feel the lightness when you release the need to define them or yourself through thought. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about meeting it directly, without the filter of the mind's chains. You might find that the relationship feels softer, more open, because you are no longer wrestling with a concept, but simply being present with a living presence. This gentle practice reveals something profound. The chains we thought bound us so tightly were never real anchors. They were illusions woven from thought, creating a sense of solid separation where none truly existed. When you see the relationship without the label, the suffering dissolves because you are no longer fighting against a concept. You are simply experiencing the flow, the self-image that felt so solid. It too is revealed as a temporary pattern, not a fixed truth. You are not the concept. You are the awareness that observes the concept, just as the river is not the name, but the flowing water itself. This deeper chain analysis reveals emptiness anew, not as a void, but as the boundless openness where concepts arise and dissolve like clouds in the sky. The chains were never there to begin with. They were only the mind's way of trying to hold on to something that was always moving, always changing. By seeing this clearly, without adding another layer of thought, you step into a space of natural clarity. You are not breaking chains, you are realizing they were never chains at all. The stillness you rested in during the previous chapter is not separate from this. It is the very ground from which the chains dissolve, revealing the clear, open sky of your own being. The stillness we discovered in Chapter 5 is not a void but the very ground of all experience. Now, let us gently deepen this understanding by seeing how emptiness touches the most immediate aspects of our lives, our emotions and physical sensations. When anger arises, we often instantly name it, labeling it anger, and then building a whole story around that label, why it's happening, who caused it, how we must react. This naming creates a solid, separate thing that feels heavy and permanent. But in truth, that feeling in your chest, that tightness, that heat, it is simply energy moving through your body. It has no inherent name, no fixed identity. It is empty of the concept anger. It is merely sensation, arising and passing, like a ripple on the surface of a vast, calm ocean. The same is true for joy, sadness, or even the simple feeling of warmth from the sun. These are not separate, permanent entities we must hold on to or push away. They are the natural flow of energy within the boundless space of awareness. Consider the ancient Zen story of a monk caught in a sudden storm. Rain poured down, wind howled, and the monk stood calmly under a tree. A fellow traveler, drenched and shivering, asked, "Why aren't you afraid of the storm?" The monk replied, "I do not see a storm. I only feel the rain." He did not label the experience as dangerous storm or unpleasant weather. He simply felt the cool drops, the wind's touch, without the mental chains of conceptual thought. He was not separate from the rain. He was the awareness within which the rain arose and dissolved. His mind was empty of the concept storm, so he remained undisturbed. This is the freedom we seek. It is not about suppressing feelings, but seeing their true nature, energy in motion, empty of fixed meaning. Now, bring this insight into your own moment. Notice the next time a strong feeling arises, perhaps a spark of irritation. Instead of immediately thinking this is frustration or I'm angry, pause. Feel the physical sensation, the quickening of your breath, the warmth in your face, the slight tension in your shoulders. Observe it as pure sensation, without the word anger or frustration attaching to it. Feel it as energy, like a wave rising and falling within you. Is it heavy? Light? Sharp? Warm? Cool? Simply feel the sensation itself, as if encountering it for the very first time. The concept anger dissolves in this direct, unlabeled feeling. You are not the anger. You are the awareness holding the sensation, which is empty of any fixed identity. This practice is not about becoming empty, but about seeing how empty all concepts truly are. You release the need to name and define, and in that release, the feeling loses its power to bind you. It simply is, and it passes. This gentle practice transforms how we meet every moment. Emotions no longer feel like overwhelming forces we must either fight or be enslaved by. They become natural currents flowing through the open space of awareness. The mental chains of labeling fall away. revealing the lightness and freedom that was always there beneath the surface. We see thoughts not as truths to be held onto, but as energy moving through the emptiness of mind, like clouds passing through the vast sky. The concept of thought dissolves as we simply feel the energy of thought arising and dissolving. This is the direct experience of emptiness, not as an abstract idea, but as the living ground of our being, where all sensations, emotions, and thoughts arise and pass without leaving a trace. It is the ultimate liberation, the deepening, unraveling where we finally rest in the unconditioned. And so, as we move forward, we see thoughts not as solid objects, but as passing clouds in the boundless sky of awareness. Imagine the weight of a heavy thought pressing down during a difficult moment. It feels solid, real, almost impossible to move through. Yet in the quiet space of awareness, notice how this heavy thought, like a gathering storm cloud, begins to form. It gathers from scattered fragments of memory, worry, or past judgment. It thickens, casting a shadow over your present experience. But here is the gentle truth revealed through mindful observation: clouds do not stay. They gather, they shift, they dissolve back into the vast, open sky. This is not a philosophy to grasp, but an immediate experience to notice. Consider the Zen master sitting beneath a tree as dark clouds roll across the sky. A storm brews. The wind stirs the leaves. A sudden rain begins to fall. The master does not chase the clouds, nor does he fight the rain. He simply sits, observing the movement of the sky, the passing of the weather. The clouds are neither good nor bad, they are simply happening. They gather, they bring rain, they move on. The master's stillness is not resistance, it is the natural openness of the sky itself, which holds the clouds without being changed by them. This is the practice of watching thoughts during stress without reaction. When a difficult thought arises, perhaps a sharp criticism or a wave of anxiety, instead of grasping it as my problem or pushing it away as bad, simply notice the cloud forming. See its shape, its color, its intensity. Feel the energy of it, but do not step into the cloud. Remain the clear, spacious awareness that holds the cloud, knowing it is not who you are. This is not about emptying the mind. It is about shifting your relationship to the thoughts that arise within it. When the mind is caught in the storm of thought, it feels like the storm is the entire world. But when you notice the cloud gathering, you remember the sky is always there, vast and undisturbed. The thought is not the center. It is a passing phenomenon within a much larger, more enduring awareness. During a moment of stress, you might feel the tightness in your chest, the quickening of your breath. Instead of reacting immediately to the thought that causes this tension, pause, breathe. Notice the thought as a cloud passing through your mental sky. You can name it briefly: worry, fear, but then gently let it go. Returning to the sensation of breath, the feeling of your body sitting, the quiet space around the thought. The reaction, clenching, fleeing, arguing with yourself is what creates the suffering. The cloud itself is simply energy moving, like weather in the sky. It has no permanent shape or location. This practice, repeated in small moments, builds a profound shift. It is not a technique to control thoughts, but a recognition of their nature. They are transient, empty of fixed substance, arising and passing within boundless awareness. The effort to stop them or hold them tight only creates more clouds. When you simply watch without judgment, the clouds naturally become less dense, less compelling. The sky of awareness, which was always present but obscured by the storm, begins to shine through. You realize the thoughts are not the ground of your being. They are merely the weather patterns in the sky of your mind. The lightness you felt in the previous chapter, the dissolution of conceptual chains, is deepened here. You see that the very act of observing the passing cloud reveals the unchanging clarity of the sky itself. This clarity reveals beyond labels. We have been unraveling the fabric of conceptual thinking, seeing how emotions flow like water and thoughts drift like clouds within the boundless sky of awareness. Now, let us gently turn this insight towards the very ground of our daily lives, the connections we make with others. Often, we move through the world wrapped in invisible labels, seeing a person as the busy colleague, the quiet neighbor, or the difficult customer. These mental categories create invisible walls, separating self from other and obscuring the living, breathing reality before us. True connection requires stepping beyond these boxes, into the space where we recognize the shared humanity that exists beneath all labels. Imagine sitting across from a neighbor for a simple cup of tea. In the quiet moment, you notice the warmth of the cup in your hands, the soft light on their face, the shared silence that feels comfortable. You don't think, "She's the new teacher from down the street," or "He's the man who always walks his dog." Instead, you simply see a human being, present in this moment, just as you are. There is no other here, only the unfolding of this shared space. The sound of the wind, the scent of the tea, the gentle rise and fall of breath. These are the true textures of the encounter, not the mental labels we habitually impose. This is not about ignoring differences. It is about seeing beyond the mental categories that create separation, recognizing the fundamental oneness of all beings in the present moment. This practice is simple yet profound. It begins with one small shift in your next interaction, whether with a friend, a stranger, or a family member. Pause for a single breath before speaking. Notice the automatic labels that arise in your mind: the boss, the friend, the stranger. Then, gently let them go. See the person not as a category, but as a unique expression of life, just as you are. Feel the shared breath of being alive in this moment. Notice the quiet hum of the street, the warmth of the sun, the simple act of listening without judgment. The connection that emerges is not based on who they are supposed to be, but on the direct, unmediated experience of being together right now. This is the deepening of the unraveling. When we stop labeling the person across from us, we stop creating the illusion of separation. The boundary between self and other dissolves, not into nothingness, but into the clear awareness of shared presence. We see that the need for categories was never real. It was merely a habit of the thinking mind, a way to feel safe in a world it tried to control. But in this moment, there is only the gentle unfolding of connection, without a single label to hold it. The fear of other fades, replaced by the simple, profound peace of seeing one human heart reflected in another. This is the heart of community, not a collection of labeled individuals, but a living, breathing field of shared awareness. And as we practice this, we naturally move towards seeing through the very foundation of dualism itself. As the gentle breeze moves through the trees, notice how the leaves drift downward without clinging to the branch. They fall freely, neither resisting nor grasping. This is the natural state of things, unburdened by the need to stay. In the previous chapter, we saw how thoughts arise and pass like clouds in the sky of awareness, revealing that our true nature is the boundless space beyond the weather. Now, we move deeper into the practice of non-attachment to ideas, recognizing that clinging to beliefs, especially about how the world should be, creates subtle tension within us. Beliefs, whether about politics, relationships, or even our own worth, often feel like solid ground. Yet when we examine them closely, we find they are merely mental constructs, patterns we've repeated until they feel real. Notice the subtle tension in your jaw, the slight tightness in your chest when you hold a strong opinion. This tension is not from the world itself, but from the effort of holding on. It is the friction of a mind trying to fix the unfixable, to control the ever-changing flow of life. Letting go is not about abandoning truth. It is about releasing the grip that prevents us from seeing clearly. Consider a simple practice. Choose one belief you hold about politics, perhaps that a certain policy always leads to chaos, or that a particular group is inherently untrustworthy. Sit quietly and gently observe this thought. Feel the weight of it, the way it colors your view of others. Then, with kindness, invite yourself to release it, not to deny its surface truth, but to step back from the story it tells. Say softly to yourself, I'm not this belief. I am the awareness holding this thought. Then, simply let it go, as you might release a held breath. Feel the softening in your body, the space that opens where the tightness was. This is not a grand act of will, but a quiet return to the spaciousness we've already known. Notice what arises when you release that one point of view. Does the world look different? Not because the facts changed, but because your mind is no longer clouded by the need to be right. You may find yourself more open to listening, to seeing the human being behind the label, to understanding the complex web of causes and conditions that shape events. This is the heart of non-attachment, not indifference, but a clear-eyed, compassionate engagement with reality as it is, without the filter of rigid ideas. The practice deepens as you notice how often you return to holding onto these mental frameworks. Each time you catch yourself tightening around an opinion, pause, breathe. Ask gently, what is this belief protecting me from feeling? What would it be like to hold this thought lightly, like the leaf drifting downward? You might discover that the tension you feel is not from the world, but from your own resistance to its natural flow. This quiet release of belief is not a one-time event. It is a gentle returning, moment by moment, to the unshakable ground of awareness that holds all thoughts without being defined by them. As you practice releasing one belief about politics or about anything else, you are not losing your way. You are stepping into a wider, clearer perspective. The world remains as it is, but your relationship to it changes. You no longer see it through the lens of a fixed idea, but as a living, breathing reality unfolding before you. This non-attachment supports mindful observation, allowing you to see with fresh eyes, without the distortion of preconceived notion. It is the foundation for true connection, where you meet others not as representatives of ideas, but as fellow travelers in this shared, ever-changing moment. Begin by settling into your posture, not to change anything, but simply to be present. The release of rigid beliefs we explored in the last chapter dissolves inattention, creating space. Now, gently turn your attention to the simple reality of this moment. Feel your body resting on the chair or the ground. Notice the weight, the contact, the subtle shifts in sensation. Do not name it as tension or comfort. Do not think about why it is there. Simply observe the sensation itself, as if seeing it for the very first time. This is not about understanding. It is about direct seeing. Now, let your awareness move to sound. Sounds are always present, like the breath of the world. They flow in and out, without needing your permission. Choose one sound as your anchor. Perhaps the hum of the air conditioning, the distant rustle of leaves, or the soft creak of wood. Let this sound hold your attention. Hear it as pure sound, not as the tree or the wind or the building. It is simply sound. Now, gently notice 3 distinct sounds around you. Let the first sound enter your awareness, perhaps a bird chirping. Do not label it bird. Do not think it is singing. Just hear the sound as it is. Then, as it fades, notice the next sound, the soft sigh of a passing car. Again, no thought of car or traffic, just the sound itself. Finally, notice a third sound, the gentle sway of fabric. A distant door closing. Hear it clearly, without adding words. These sounds are not separate from you. They are the very fabric of this moment, and you are part of that fabric. This practice, mindful observation, is how we apply the spaciousness we have cultivated. It is not about achieving a special state. It is about returning, again and again, to the direct experience of the present. When we stop naming the sound, the sensation, the feeling, we step out of the endless river of thought that usually carries us away. We find ourselves resting in the simplicity of being. The body is felt as sensation alone. The sound is heard as sound alone. There is no me observing, only the happening of awareness itself. This is not difficult, it is simply noticing what is already here, untouched by thought. Try it now. Pause for a moment. Notice the sensation of your feet on the floor. Feel the air on your skin. Now, listen. Notice 3 sounds without naming them. Just hear. Let the sounds come and go, like clouds passing through the sky. No need to hold them. No need to push them away. Simply rest in the sound as it is. This simple act of seeing and hearing without thought is the deepening of insight. It is the practice of non-conceptual awareness in action. As you practice this, you may find that the quiet observation brings unexpected clarity. It may reveal a subtle discomfort you have been avoiding, a tightness in the shoulders, a restlessness in the mind. This is not a problem to solve, but simply a sensation to be known. The practice does not require you to change it. It simply asks you to see it clearly, without the veil of thought. Observation reveals discomfort to sit with. Consider the quiet ache that sometimes settles in your chest during a simple conversation. Perhaps it is the feeling of being misunderstood, or the subtle tension when someone speaks over you, or the way your shoulders tighten as you anticipate judgment. This discomfort is not an enemy to be fought, but a teacher waiting to be acknowledged. In the practice of sitting with discomfort, we do not seek to push it away or fix it with words. Instead, we gently breathe into the very sensation that feels so heavy, allowing the breath to soften the edges of resistance. This is not about enduring pain, but about resting within the raw, unvarnished feeling itself, without adding the story of why it should not be there. The tension dissolves not because we force it to, but because we stop struggling against its presence. We simply meet it with the quiet warmth of our attention. Imagine sitting across from a colleague during a team meeting. Their tone feels dismissive, and a familiar heat rises in your throat. You might instinctively brace yourself, rehearsing a sharp reply or withdraw into silence, tightening further. But what if, instead, you notice the tightness in your jaw, the quickening of your breath, the way your hands curl slightly? You could simply breathe into that tightness, inhaling with awareness of the sensation, exhaling with a soft release, not to make it vanish, but to allow it to be exactly as it is. You might find the heat begins to soften, not because the other person changed, but because you stopped fighting your own experience. The conversation continues, but the internal storm has calmed. This is the essence of sitting with discomfort, finding the spaciousness within the very feeling we usually flee from. Now, bring this to your own life. Notice the next time a minor social interaction stirs unease, a greeting that feels awkward, a pause that stretches too long, a comment that grazes your sensitivity. Do not rush to analyze or react. Pause. Feel the physical sensation in your body. Is it a knot in your stomach? A tightness in your chest? A slight tremor in your hands? Breathe into that specific place. Inhale, acknowledging the tension. Exhale, releasing the subtle urge to push it away. Do not try to make it better. Simply be with it, as you would be with a friend who is quietly sad, without needing to fix them. This is the practice, to sit with the raw feeling in the conversation, not to escape it, but to discover the peace that already exists within its presence. It requires no special place or time, only the willingness to be fully present with what is right now. This simple act of breathing into tension without resistance transforms how we move through the world. It is not about avoiding difficult moments, but about meeting them with a heart that is open, not closed. Each time we choose to rest within discomfort rather than react against it, we gently loosen the grip of old assumptions that shape our reactions. We begin to see that the discomfort itself is not the problem. It is the resistance to it that creates suffering. This practice becomes the quiet foundation for deeper questioning of our automatic responses. We start to wonder not just why we feel this way, but why we feel the need to push it away in the first place. This is how awareness expands beyond the narrow confines of our habitual thinking. It deepens daily questioning of assumptions, not through intellectual effort, but through the simple, profound act of sitting with the raw, unvarnished reality of our experience in the very moment it arises. Today, as you move through your day, notice how often you assume the intentions of others. That moment when a colleague speaks quickly and your mind instantly labels it as criticism or disrespect. You think, they meant to hurt me. This thought arises so naturally, yet it is simply a concept we create, a story woven from our own fears and past experiences. It is not the reality of the moment. The true reality is only what is happening right now, the sound of their voice, the expression on their face, the space between you. The concept of "they meant to hurt me" is a separate layer, a mental label we impose over the simple facts of the present. This labeling is the very thing that creates the suffering we feel, not the actual words or actions. Consider this simple Zen moment. A monk was working in the garden when another monk, carrying a heavy basket, accidentally bumped into him, spilling soil. The first monk felt a flash of irritation. His mind immediately formed the concept: he did it on purpose to embarrass me. But then, noticing the tightness in his chest, he paused. He looked at the other monk's flushed face and hurried movements. He saw not an attacker, but someone clearly overwhelmed and rushing to meet a deadline. The concept "he meant to hurt me" dissolved. The reality was simply a moment of clumsiness, a human mistake, not malice. The irritation softened into simple understanding. The monk didn't need to be right about the other's intention. He simply saw what was there. This is the practice we offer now. Gently question one assumption you hold about a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger you encounter today. It might be something small. They are ignoring me because they don't like me, or they are being lazy on purpose. Simply pause. Notice the thought arising. Then ask softly, what if I'm wrong? What if this is not about me at all? What if it's simply their own stress, tiredness, or a different perspective? Notice the subtle shift when you release the concept. Feel the space that opens when you stop believing the story you've been telling yourself. It is not about proving the other person right or wrong. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of the story. This quiet questioning is not intellectual. It is an act of deep listening to the present moment, a return to direct experience before the concept forms. Let this be your anchor today. When you feel that familiar sting of assumption, breathe. Feel the sensation in your body. Then, softly question, what is true right now? What am I adding to this moment with my story? This simple practice, repeated daily, dissolves the solid walls of our concepts. It reveals that the world is not filled with people acting against us, but with people simply being human, just as we are. It opens a space where connection can happen, not based on our assumptions, but on what is truly present. This gentle questioning naturally extends to seeing how we label others in every interaction, revealing the fluid, ever-changing reality beneath the static concepts we hold. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the weight of the chair beneath you, the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Now, open your eyes and notice the world around you, not as a fixed reality, but as a stream of passing impressions. This is where insight begins. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from the world itself, but from the mental labels we place upon it, especially about others' intentions. We see a headline, hear a word, and instantly we assign meaning, often judgment, before we truly see the person, the situation, the moment. This labeling is automatic, habitual, and it shapes our entire perception of reality, often without us realizing it. Consider a common news headline: riots break out in city center. Instantly, what images form in your mind? Chaos, violence, angry crowds. The word riots carries a heavy, negative label. Now, imagine the same event described as citizens gather peacefully to voice concerns. The same gathering, the same physical actions. But the label peacefully and voice concerns shifts the entire meaning, evoking empathy instead of fear. The reality, people gathering in a public space, remains unchanged. It is the label we attach that creates the story we believe. News media, reflecting societal biases, constantly feeds us these pre-packaged interpretations. We consume them, absorb the labels, and react as if the label is the truth, not merely a filter through which we see. This is the practice. The next time you read a headline, pause. Before your mind jumps to judgment, simply notice the words chosen. What labels are being used? Terrorists, activists, victims, criminals, heroes, protesters. Ask yourself gently, is this label describing the event, or is it shaping how I feel about it? See the headline without the label first. See the people, the place, the action as if for the first time. Notice how your body might tense when you read riots, or how your heart might soften at citizens gathering. Feel the automatic reaction, the mental story building, and then simply step back. There is the label riots creating this feeling of fear. This simple pause is the first step in breaking the chain of conceptual thinking. It is not about changing the news. It is about becoming aware of how the news and all labels shape your inner landscape. This awareness is not intellectual. It is a quiet, compassionate noticing in the very moment of encountering a label. It reveals the subtle way we construct the world as us versus them, good versus bad, safe versus threatening, based entirely on words, not on direct experience. It shows why we resist discomfort, because the label threatening feels dangerous, even before the situation is understood. This practice invites you to question that automatic assumption, right here, right now, in the ordinary moment of reading a headline. It is not about becoming detached, it is about becoming clear. Notice one label in your next news consumption, then another. Feel the shift as you observe the label itself, rather than being swept away by its meaning. Begin noticing these labeling patterns in your next 3 interactions. See how the word annoying describes a colleague, or lazy describes a neighbor, or difficult describes a situation. See the label, and then see what is actually happening beneath it. This gentle awareness, this simple noticing without adding judgment, is the seed of insight. It transforms the ordinary act of reading news into a profound practice of seeing reality as it is, not as our labels tell us it must be. This awareness reveals dualistic thinking in conflict, showing us the very moment we divide the world into opposing sides. It is the quiet space where transformation begins, not in grand gestures, but in the simple, courageous act of seeing the label for what it is, a thought, not the truth. Imagine the quiet hum of the office, the soft click of keyboards, the subtle tension in a meeting about a shared project deadline. You feel it rise within you, a familiar tightness when a colleague insists on their approach, dismissing yours as inefficient. This is the moment dualistic thinking takes root, whispering my way or your way, right or wrong, win or lose. We build invisible walls around our ideas, seeing only the opposing side, not the shared ground beneath our feet. The conflict isn't truly in the work itself, but in the mental labels we attach to it, labels that create a false separation where none need exist. Suffering arises not from the disagreement, but from our refusal to see beyond the labels of us and them, mine and yours. This is the heart of dualistic thinking, a pattern woven into the fabric of our daily decisions and interactions, often unnoticed until it causes friction. Consider a simple example. Two team members, Maya and Ben, are debating the design of a client presentation. Maya insists on a data-heavy approach. Ben argues for a more visual, storytelling style. The meeting grows tense. Maya thinks Ben is being unprofessional. Ben feels Maya is rigid and uncreative. Each sees only the other's position as a threat to their own. But what if, in that charged moment, Maya simply paused, not to argue, but to breathe and notice the tightness in her chest, the speed of her thoughts. She might gently ask herself, am I seeing Ben, or am I seeing my own label of uncreative? And Ben, feeling dismissed, could pause and wonder, is this about the presentation, or is it about my fear of being judged? In that space of pause, the labels soften. The rigid my way dissolves, revealing the shared goal, a presentation that truly serves the client. The conflict wasn't about winning. It was about finding a solution together, a solution that might blend data and story. Seeing without sides means noticing the shared breath in the room, the common desire for success, before the labels of right and wrong claim the space. This practice is not about avoiding disagreement or forcing agreement. It is about seeing the interaction clearly, without the distortion of win-lose thinking. It means noticing when you label a colleague difficult or a decision risky before you've truly understood the situation. It means feeling the heat of frustration, but not letting it fuel the story of, "They always do this." Instead, you gently step back, observing the mental pattern itself, the way your mind instantly sorts and judges. In that observation lies the opening. The conflict doesn't vanish, but the suffering around it does. You no longer feel attacked or defensive. You simply see the moment, the people involved, the shared purpose, without the filter of my side versus their side. It is a quiet revolution in the ordinary, transforming a potential clash into a moment of genuine connection. Begin noticing these labeling patterns in your next 3 interactions. When a colleague says something you disagree with, pause before your mind shouts "wrong." Notice the label forming: stubborn, silly, overly cautious. Then, simply observe the label without believing it. Breathe. Ask softly, what is actually happening here? See the person, not the label. See the shared purpose, not the perceived opposition. This gentle practice, repeated in the smallest moments of work and life, is how insight cultivates itself in action. It is the quiet shift from separation to connection, from struggle to understanding, right where you stand. Beyond dualism, silence becomes true understanding. Begin noticing these labeling patterns in your next 3 interactions. In the hurried rhythm of daily life, we often mistake the noise of words for true connection. We fill every pause with explanation, correction, or opinion, believing that speaking means understanding. Yet in the quiet space between words, where the mind stops racing and the heart settles, something deeper emerges. This is the silence that holds understanding before it becomes words. It is not emptiness, but fullness, a spacious awareness where meaning arises naturally, without the need to label or define. In that stillness, we stop hearing only our own thoughts and begin to hear the unspoken truth in the room, the quiet presence of another, the simple reality of this moment. True understanding does not come from the constant flow of language, but from the pause that allows language to step aside. When we stop speaking to hear, we move beyond the labels we habitually attach to others, their roles, their opinions, their perceived differences. We stop seeing a colleague as the difficult one or a friend as the quiet one, and instead meet the human being present in front of us. This silence is not passive, it is active listening with the whole of our being. A listening that dissolves the illusion of separation. In the tea room of a Zen monastery, an old master once sat in silence with a young student after a tense discussion. No words were spoken for several minutes. The student felt the weight of his own frustration, then noticed the master's calm presence, the way the light fell on the wooden floor. In that shared quiet, The student realized the argument had been about his own fear of being misunderstood, not the other person's intention. The silence wasn't absence. It was the ground where understanding grew. Now, try this in your own day, in your next meeting, before you speak. Take one breath. Feel the space between the last word and your own response. Notice the thoughts rushing to fill it. Then, let them be. In that pause, you might hear the unspoken tension in the room, the subtle shift in someone's posture, or simply the quiet hum of the present moment. You might not say anything different, but you will be present differently. You will understand not just the words spoken, but the heart behind them. This is the practice, to step out of the conceptual story we're telling ourselves and into the clear space of direct experience. It requires no special skill, only the willingness to be still for a moment. This silence is not about waiting for a better word to come. It is about realizing that the word is never the thing. When we pause, we awaken to what is already here, the shared breath, the common ground of being. We stop seeing through the lens of us versus them and see only the living, breathing moment. This silence awakens us to the present moment. As we've gently explored in the pause between words, we discovered that true understanding flows not from the words themselves, but from the quiet space where thoughts dissolve. This awareness, this calm serenity, is not something we seek far away. It is found right here, in the simple act of being present with what is, without adding another layer of thought. Now, let us turn our attention to the ordinary moments of daily life, where the path to insight is paved with the most common tasks. The water running over your hands as you wash a dish, the steam rising from your morning tea, the way your feet meet the earth as you walk to the kitchen. These are not interruptions to life, but life itself, waiting to be seen clearly. Suffering arises not from the dish needing washing, but from the constant mental commentary that labels it as boring or annoying, creating a barrier between you and the experience. The teaching is simple. Presence is not a special state reserved for meditation cushions. It is the natural state of mind when we stop naming the water and simply feel its temperature, the way it flows, the slight slip of the soap on your fingers. There is no us washing and it being washed. There is only the coolness of the water meeting the warmth of your skin, the sound of the water, the softness of the sponge, all happening without the need to label or judge. Imagine a monk in a quiet monastery, washing the same bowl he has washed for years. His hands move with familiar rhythm, yet each time he notices anew the way the light catches the water droplets on the porcelain, the gentle resistance of the cloth against the surface, the coolness of the water as it first touches his skin, then the subtle warmth as he continues. He does not think this is a bowl, or I'm washing, or this should be done faster. He simply feels the water the bowl, the movement, the quiet sound of the water. There is no separation, only the fullness of the moment. This is not about forcing your mind to be still, but about releasing the habit of always adding meaning. It is about letting the water be water, without the thought cold or hot, or I don't like this. The practice is not complicated. Choose one small task you do daily, making your bed, stirring your coffee, walking to the mailbox. For the duration of that task, let go of the next thought. Feel the temperature of the water as you wash your hands. Notice the texture of the fabric as you smooth your sheets. Hear the sound of your own footsteps without labeling them fast or slow. When your mind wanders, as it will, gently return to the sensation of the task itself. This is not about achieving a perfect state, but about recognizing that the very act of washing a dish, when done with full attention, is a profound expression of awareness. It is the dissolution of the me who is doing the task and the it that is being done. The thought I am washing fades, leaving only the washing. The water feels cool, then warm, then cool again, simply as it is, without your story about it. This is the quiet revolution of presence. It transforms the ordinary into the sacred, not by making it special, but by seeing it clearly, without the filter of endless thought. When we stop naming the water, we are no longer separated from it. We are simply the water, the hands, the moment. This simple shift in attention, this deepening of awareness in the smallest actions, is where the clinging to fixed ideas begins to loosen. It is the gentle, profound work of seeing the world as it truly is, not as our thoughts have described it for us. This presence leads to letting go of fixed ideas. We often carry the weight of tomorrow's plans like stones in our pockets, unaware how they bind us to a future that has not yet arrived. This chapter invites us to gently loosen the grip on fixed ideas about what must happen, who must be, or what the day must hold. Notice the subtle tension in your body when you find yourself thinking, I must finish this project by noon, or this meeting must go exactly as planned. That tension is the friction of clinging to a concept, not the reality of the unfolding moment. True presence, as we discovered in the pause between words and in the simple act of washing a dish, dissolves this friction. It happens not by forcing the future to align with our mental map, but by releasing the map itself. Consider the story of a monk walking beside a rushing river. He had planned to cross at a specific point, certain the current would be calm enough at precisely 10 a.m. As he waited, the river surged higher. The path vanished, and his carefully constructed plan dissolved. Instead of frustration, he sat on the bank, observing the water's natural flow. He noticed how the current carried leaves and driftwood effortlessly, without resistance. He saw that his insistence on crossing at 10 a.m. had only made him miss the moment when the water eased. The perfect time to cross. He waited, not for his plan to come true, but for the river to show him the way. His mind, uncluttered by the must, became as clear and responsive as the water itself. He crossed when the moment was right, not when his idea said it should be. This is the practice we offer now. Choose one small future plan you hold tightly, a specific outcome for a conversation, a precise time for a task, or a fixed expectation for the day, and release it for just 24 hours. Let it go as easily as the monk let go of his crossing time. Notice the quiet space that opens when you stop rehearsing the future. Feel the softness in your shoulders, the ease in your breath, as the tightness of must melts away. You might find yourself noticing the unexpected beauty in the present, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of birdsong, the simple act of breathing without agenda. There is no loss in releasing the plan. Instead, you discover a deeper connection to the actual flow of life, where the river moves as it will, and you move with it. This gentle release is not about abandoning responsibility. It is about stepping out of the prison of your own mental constructs and into the vast, open space where life truly happens. When you let go of the need for a specific future moment, you allow yourself to be present for whatever moment actually arrives. The tension fades, replaced by a quiet serenity. You are no longer fighting against the current of change. You are flowing within it. This is how we begin to truly embrace the impermanence that is life itself. Releasing the future constructs of your mind is the very path to moving with life's ever-changing river, not against it. Imagine the quiet weight of a memory settling into your bones. Not a sharp pain, but a deep, familiar shape you carry without noticing. This is the subtle architecture of the past, built from old labels like "I was betrayed" or "I was abandoned." These aren't just stories you tell, they are invisible walls shaping how you see the present moment, coloring every new interaction with the tint of yesterday. When you think "I was hurt," that phrase becomes a lens, filtering the world through the shadow of that old wound, making you braced for the same pain in the next moment. You don't see the person standing before you clearly, you see the echo of the past, and the present moment loses its freshness, its own quiet truth. This is the grip of conceptual thinking, where the mind clings to the shape of what was, preventing you from meeting what is. Consider the old Zen story of the teacup. A student asks a master about enlightenment, and the master pours tea into a cup. The cup is already full, so the tea spills over. The master says, "Your mind is like this full cup. Until you empty it of the tea of past experiences, how can new understanding flow in?" The past isn't the tea itself, but the habit of keeping the cup perpetually full with old labels. You don't need to erase the memory. You simply need to stop pouring it into every new cup you hold. See the label you place on the past moment. The time I was wronged, not as a fixed truth, but as a temporary construct, a container you can gently set down. Try this now, gently. Choose one specific past experience you often label, like the moment I was rejected or the time I failed. Sit quietly and name the label you hold on to. Then, without judgment, simply say to yourself, "This is a label. It is not the experience itself." Hold the thought softly, like a feather on your palm. Notice the subtle shift when you release the label's grip. The sharpness of the memory might soften. A space opens where the label once resided, a space filled not with the past, but with the quiet, unlabeled presence of this very moment. You might feel a lightness, a quiet space where the old shape no longer presses against your awareness. This isn't about forgetting, it's about freeing the present from the weight of the past's interpretation. It's the simple, profound act of saying, "I was hurt," is just a phrase, not the whole story of who you are now. This release, this soft letting go of the label, is not a grand gesture. It is the quiet practice of seeing the present moment as it truly is, without the filter of yesterday's story. It is the space where the mind stops spinning the wheel of the past and begins to rest in the flow of what is. As we release these labels, we step out of the prison of I was and into the open field of I am, where each moment holds its own fresh, unburdened clarity. This release supports seeing without judgment. Imagine sitting in a sun-dappled market square. The air hums with gentle sounds, the rustle of leaves, the soft clink of pottery, the murmur of quiet conversation. A woman steps up to a vegetable stall, selecting crisp greens. Her fingers brush the leaves, her expression calm. Now, notice your own mind. Do you already form a judgment? Is she thoughtful or slow? Is the seller kind or cheap? This automatic labeling, this need to place her actions into good or bad, right or wrong, is the very cage we seek to release. Judgment is not seeing. It is a conceptual barrier built over the present moment. When we label others' choices, we obscure the reality before us. We see only our own story, not the person in front of us. True seeing requires letting go of that familiar, heavy weight of good and bad. It requires seeing the woman's hands moving with quiet purpose, the sunlight catching the dew on the spinach, the seller's smile as she places the bundle in her basket without adding a single word of judgment. This is not indifference. It is a deep, clear awareness that flows without resistance. The market continues. A child laughs. A man adjusts his basket. The breeze stirs the bamboo blinds. Each moment unfolds naturally, unlabeled, unjudged. You're not trying to change anything. You are simply noticing the unfolding, like watching water flow around a stone. This is the practice. It begins in small moments. Today, as you wait for the bus, watch a stranger stepping off the curb. Notice the way they carry their bag, the curve of their shoulders, the slight tilt of their head. Do not name it. Do not decide if they seem hurried or relaxed. Simply observe the movement, the presence, the quiet reality of them in this single breath. When your mind slips into "she's late" or "he looks tired," gently return to the raw sensation, the sight, the sound, the feeling of being present. This simple act of seeing without judgment is a quiet revolution. It dissolves the illusion that we must constantly evaluate life, that every moment needs a verdict. In this space, the rigid lines between past and present, between self and other, soften. The woman at the market isn't good or bad. She simply is, in this moment, buying vegetables. The seller isn't kind or unkind. She is simply offering her wares. Life isn't happening to us or for us. It is simply happening. As the water flows, as the leaves fall. When we stop labeling, we stop resisting. We stop creating friction where there was none. We step into the natural current. And this quiet observation, this practice of seeing without judgment, becomes the very ground from which we can flow with life's inevitable changes. Without judgment, we flow with life's changes. Life moves like a river, constantly shifting, never holding still. We often stand on the bank, watching the current, wishing it would flow exactly as we imagined. We cling to how things were, how we thought they should be. And when the current turns unexpectedly, we feel resistance rise like a wall inside us. This tightness, this pushing against the flow, is the very thing that keeps us stuck. It's not that change is difficult, it's that our minds, trained by past experiences, instantly label the new as wrong, threatening, or inconvenient. We think, this shouldn't be happening, and the moment is lost in the noise of our judgment. True flow begins when we gently notice that tightness without adding another layer of resistance. We see the resistance itself, the tightening in the chest, the mental note of "I don't like this," and simply allow it to be there, without fighting it. This noticing is the first step in releasing the grip of the past, the old story we keep replaying. Imagine sitting with your morning tea, the quiet hum of the house around you. The cup slips from your hand, hot liquid spreading across the table. In that instant, the old pattern might flash. How clumsy I am. This is such a mess. I'll have to clean it up now. There's a quick pullback, a sense of frustration. But what if, instead, you simply notice the spill, the warmth on your hand, the sound of the liquid spreading? You don't say, "This is bad." You don't get angry at yourself. You just observe the reality of the moment as it is. The spill, the warmth, the slight surprise. You let the tea flow where it will, without trying to force it back into the cup. You might even find yourself smiling at the small, unexpected event, feeling a lightness replace the frustration. The spill isn't an obstacle to be fixed. It's simply a moment in the flow, a tiny ripple in the river of this very second. This small shift, this moment of not resisting, is the practice. Now, bring this awareness into your day. Notice the subtle moments when life veers off your expected path. Perhaps the bus is late, or a plan changes at the last minute, or a conversation takes an unexpected turn. In that moment, pause. Feel the automatic pull to resist, the tightening, the sigh, the internal complaint. Gently name it. Resistance. Then, take one small breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Observe the situation without labeling it good or bad, just as it is happening right now. Don't force yourself to love the change, simply allow it to be present. This is the practice, embracing one unplanned change, however small, with the simple act of noticing and not fighting. It might be letting the coffee spill, taking a different route home, or simply sitting with the discomfort of a sudden silence. The key is the gentle, non-judgmental attention you bring to the unexpected moment itself. This quiet practice of observing the flow without resistance, of meeting each unexpected turn with openness instead of a clenched fist, is where true freedom begins. It dissolves the illusion that life must conform to our old ideas. Each time we notice resistance and choose to soften, we release another layer of the past. We step out of the prison of how it should be and step fully into the living current of now. This gentle practice of flowing with change is the path to unlearning conditioned responses. Imagine the natural flow of a river, moving without resistance, finding its path through rock and earth. This is the state we glimpse when we release the constant chatter of judgment and labeling. In the previous chapters, we learn to see reality as it is, without calling it good or bad, dissolving the tension of resistance. Now, we step deeper into liberation by unlearning the automatic reactions that keep us trapped within old patterns. These reactions, like flinching at criticism, tightening with frustration, or withdrawing from discomfort, are not who we are. They are conditioned habits, learned responses that create suffering without our conscious choice. They are the unseen current pulling us away from the calm of the present moment. Consider a Zen master known for his deep calm. One day, a guest spilled hot tea on his sleeve. The guest braced for anger, expecting the master to scold. Instead, the master simply said, "The tea is hot," and continued his tea. There was no flinch, no mental story about the mistake. No reaction demanding the guest feel ashamed. He saw the spill as simply tea, not a personal attack. His mind was free from the automatic chain of blame and reactivity. This is the freedom we seek, to see the event as it happens, without the heavy weight of conditioned response. Our habitual reactions, whether anger, anxiety, or avoidance, create a prison of suffering. We react to stress as if it were an emergency, but often, the emergency is only in our mind's story. Notice how your own automatic reaction to stress tightens your chest, quickens your breath, or sends you into a spiral of worry. This tightness is the suffering created by the habit, not by the situation itself. Now, practice this gently in your own life. The next time stress arises, a sharp word, an unexpected delay, a sudden worry, pause. Not a long pause, just a single breath. Feel the sensation in your body without naming it as bad or unbearable. Notice the automatic thought, "This is awful," and simply let it pass like a cloud. Feel the space between the trigger and your response. In that tiny pause, you are not reacting. You are simply being present. You are reconnecting with the direct experience of this moment, not the story you've built around it. This pause is not about suppressing feelings. It is about releasing the automatic narrative that amplifies suffering. It is the quiet space where freedom begins to breathe. Feel the warmth of your own awareness, holding the experience without judgment. This is not a technique to master. It is a simple return to what is already true. As you practice this pause, you begin to trust the direct experience of life unfolding, not the mental constructs that cloud it. You discover that the mind, when free from conditioning, is naturally clear and responsive, not reactive. The old patterns of stress and suffering lose their power because you are no longer feeding them with automatic reaction. You are learning to flow with the river, not fighting against its current. This unlearning is the foundation for the next step, building unwavering trust in the direct, unmediated experience of life as it happens, moment by moment. Feel the cool touch of air on your skin right now. Notice how it arrives without needing a name, without requiring you to label it as wind or breeze. This simple sensation is already happening, pure and unmediated, in the quiet space between thoughts. We find a deeper knowing than any concept can hold. We've been learning to release resistance, to notice tension without judgment, to dissolve the illusion that life must fit our old patterns. Now, we move beyond that noticing into a different kind of knowing, trusting the direct experience itself, exactly as it is, without the veil of thought. This is not about stopping thinking. It's about recognizing the thought as a passing cloud, while the sky of awareness remains clear and present. When we stop naming the wind, we truly feel its touch. When we stop thinking about the sound of water, we hear its pure quality. The mind's constant need to label, to define, to make sense of everything, is the very thing that creates separation from the living moment. Consider the old Zen story of the monk walking with his master. A strong wind blew through the trees, rustling the leaves. The master asked, "What is that sound?" The monk replied, "The wind in the trees." The master said nothing. Later, as they sat together, the wind blew again. The monk felt the cool air, the gentle movement on his face, the subtle vibration in his skin. He felt the wind without naming it. He felt its presence as pure sensation, not as an object to be understood. That was the moment of true hearing. The name wind was unnecessary. The direct feeling was the wisdom. This is the practice we offer now. It is not about emptying the mind, but about shifting our attention from the story the mind tells to the raw, immediate feeling of being here. Close your eyes gently if it feels right, or soften your gaze. Bring your awareness to one sensation right now. Perhaps it is the coolness of the air on your forehead, the weight of your body against the chair, the soft hum of the room, or the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Feel it completely. Notice the quality of the sensation itself: cool, smooth, heavy, warm, vibrating. Do not ask what it is. Do not think about where it came from or what it means. If a thought arises like "this is air" or "I feel cool," simply acknowledge it like a cloud passing through the sky, and gently return to the pure feeling of the coolness, the smoothness, the presence. This is not a task to complete, but a gentle invitation to rest in the direct experience. For 5 minutes, let go of the need to know. Let the sensation be simply what it is, without your commentary. Notice how the mind naturally wants to label, but you can choose to return to the feeling, again and again. This practice is not about achieving a state, but about remembering the state that is always here, beneath the surface of thought. It is the deep peace that comes from resting in the present, not in a concept of it. This simple act of trusting the sensation, of feeling the wind without naming it, dissolves the barrier between you and the world. It reveals that wisdom is not something we grasp with the mind, but something we embody when the mind rests. This trust reveals wisdom in stillness. After the gentle trust we cultivated in direct sensation, where the mind rested without labeling or judgment, we now move deeper into the quiet space where wisdom naturally emerges. It is not found in the rush of thoughts or the constant analysis of the day. True wisdom arises not in the noise, but in the profound quiet that follows the storm. This is the space where the mind, released from its habitual need to grasp and define, simply is. It is here, in the stillness, that we hear the world without the filter of concepts. and wisdom flows like water finding its own level. Consider the ancient Zen story of the monk who sat in deep meditation beside a mountain stream. His mind was calm, his attention steady on the flow of the water. A friend approached, speaking loudly about a complex philosophical question. The monk listened without a word, his face serene. Later, when the friend asked why he had not responded, the monk simply pointed to the stream. The sound of the water continued, uninterrupted, flowing as it always does. The friend finally understood. The stream's sound was the answer, not the words of debate. The wisdom wasn't in the concept of the question, but in the direct, unmediated experience of the sound itself, heard within the stillness of the mind. The concept was the barrier, the silence was the path. This is the practice we invite you to try now. After a day filled with demands, conversations, and the constant chatter of planning, find a quiet corner. Sit gently. Close your eyes if it feels right, and simply let the day's energy settle. Do not chase the silence or force it. Allow your breath to be your anchor, feeling its natural rhythm without trying to change it. Notice the subtle sensations in your body, the weight of your seat, the air on your skin. Listen to the silence within, not as an absence, but as a presence filled with possibility. Let the thoughts that arise, like leaves floating on a stream, pass by without catching hold of them. You're not trying to stop thinking, you are simply resting in the space between thoughts, where the mind is naturally quiet. This is not about achieving emptiness. It is about recognizing the spaciousness that is already here, beneath the surface of the day's activity. In this simple practice of sitting in stillness, you are not gaining something new. You are simply removing the layers of conceptual thinking that have obscured what has always been present. The wisdom you seek is not out there in the next idea or the next solution. It is here, in the quiet, in the space where the mind is free from the need to know or to be right. The busyness of the day fades, not because you have stopped it, but because you have stopped adding to it. You rest in the unmediated experience of simply being. This is the foundation where the direct wisdom of the present moment is revealed, clear and undisturbed. When stillness becomes your natural state, the rigid patterns of thought that once controlled your experience begin to dissolve. The mind, no longer locked in the cycle of conceptual reaction, finds its true freedom. This quiet practice is not an escape. It is the direct path to recognizing the unbroken flow of life as it unfolds, without the veil of thought. It is in this stillness that the next step becomes clear. In the quiet space we've been cultivating, where direct sensation flows without labels, you might notice a subtle shift. Thoughts begin to arise not as urgent commands, but as familiar currents in the stream of awareness. These are the patterns we've woven through countless days of mental habit. See them not as truths to hold, but as temporary ripples on the water's surface, easily passing. Notice when a thought loops back, a familiar worry or plan, and simply observe it without the need to follow its path. There is no need to agree, argue, or chase it further. The pattern is just a pattern, a habitual movement of the mind, not a reflection of reality itself. Imagine sitting by a clear mountain stream. Leaves float gently downstream, each one distinct yet part of the same flow. You watch them come and go without trying to hold any particular leaf. You see the pattern of leaves drifting past, but you do not become the leaf. You are the stillness observing the movement. This is how to relate to thought patterns. They are the leaves, the current is the mind's natural flow, and your awareness is the calm water beneath. When a recurring thought appears, like a specific leaf returning to the same spot, notice it softly. There it is again. Then, gently, without force, allow it to float away. Do not pull it back to examine it or dismiss it harshly. Simply let the current carry it on, as the stream effortlessly carries the leaf downstream. This practice is not about stopping thoughts, but about releasing the grip. It is the quiet act of noticing the pattern's repetition and choosing not to engage with it, not to feed it with your attention. Find one thought that often returns, a concern about the future, a replay of a past moment. When it arises, pause. Feel the subtle tension that comes with it. Then, softly, as you might release a held breath, let the thought go. Return your attention to the physical sensation of your breath, the sound of the room, the feeling of your body resting. Let the thought pass like a cloud through the sky, without needing to chase it or cling to it. You are not the thought. You are the space where the thought appears and dissolves. This gentle disengagement is not effort, but a deepening trust in the spacious awareness that already holds all experience. As you practice this, you may find the patterns begin to lose their power. They no longer feel like commandments or unavoidable realities. They simply appear, and you see them for what they are: temporary, habitual, and not essential. The mind, freed from the constant need to analyze or react, begins to rest in its own natural state. This is not a state of emptiness, but a vibrant, clear presence. The repeated thought no longer shapes your experience. It is seen clearly and released, like a leaf that drifts from the stream's edge. You notice the pattern's temporary nature, and the mind feels lighter, more open, less burdened by the weight of its own habits. This quiet release, this simple act of not engaging with a repeating thought, is the very essence of freedom. It is the direct experience of the mind unbound from its own constructions. This is the freedom of unconceived mind,